Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an impromptu Too Many Chefs, episode 13. I am your host, Devious Dave Rose, and I'm actually joined by an actual certified chef, the one, the only, Gabe Rodriguez.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing,
Awesome, man. Awesome. I'm doing good.
All right, so this was an impromptu episode that just came together, and again, Gabe and I have been wanting to do a show together for quite some time.
Yeah.
And it's just difficult to obviously work around his schedule because he's the one who's running around like a chicken with his head's cut off. With all the work that he's got to do and stuff, and he can definitely give some good insight into the whole industry of food, and I'm glad to have him here and stuff.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad to be back on the show. It was good talk. It's been like a long time, but it's all good. We're just doing what we got to do, keeping afloat in the kitchens, doing all that stuff. So yeah, so it pretty much is.
Well, you've been around for quite some time, and you've shared your knowledge. When you've had the opportunity to do so about your cooking knowledge, but because we're doing this on the fly, and I truly am one of the greatest interviewers to have ever lived. We're gonna fucking
Definitely
do it fucking live, just like O'Reilly said. So I'm gonna provide you with some of the greatest questions you've probably ever been asked. And we're both going to come out looking like fucking gold. So, first and foremost,
awesome.
Start off your history. Why did you get into food?
So I pretty much got into food basically because it was a necessity. We were poor growing up, and it was four of us. So I was basically the one that was cooking, in our family at a young age. So I was like cooking probably about 7 years old, 8 years old for my brothers and sisters, just making like little stuff. So, just the eggs, stuff like that. I learned from my grandma. Grandma's cooking, and then my mom too as well.
So did you emulate what they taught? Like, did they teach you, or did you just observe and try to do it on your own to help your siblings?
Yeah, I observed when I was younger, and then I just kind of got on my own doing it, because it's in my family, you know what I mean? So it's just,
So
my
cooking is something that is predominant in your family, no matter who it is. Everyone is either involved,
yes,
or they enjoy it. It's
definitely
something part of the sort of the family culture. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, it's a part of family culture, and then my culture too, as well. But also, it was like ingrained to me when I was a little kid, from my mom and my grandma, and then that's how it pretty much started, So that at a young age, I was cooking, and I just picked it up fast, and but it was basically out of necessity first. Because I was real poor, like I said, growing up, and just needed to survive, things like that. So my mom was always working. My dad was working too as well, and doing what he had to do and stuff. So I just, did it myself.
And when you were in school, for example, so, they used to have home ec. I don't know if, depending on the school and stuff, they don't really have that much these days. But when that came about, how did you I'm going back to Spanish. ¿Te prendiste a eso? Did you get turned on by that? Did you get like?
Yeah, actually I did. I did that when I was a freshman. I was actually in home ec, and then I was actually in ROTC too. I don't know
what is that? Hold
ROTC.
On. What is that? ROTC.
That's ROTC is like military. Like they have like military training.
Oh, it's like
that.
It's that college or that sort of system where.
Yeah, it's like that prep. It's like in high school they have all these programs. So I was gonna try to get into like a military thing a long time ago to follow my dad's footsteps. But
your dad was in the military?
Yeah, my dad was in the military. And so he was good, but I was going to follow his footsteps, but I just didn't do that. I went to culinary arts, right after I got out of high school. I went straight to chef school. So I kind of already knew what I wanted to do pretty much when I was young. So I just kind of said it. But I wanted to go to military because the cooking, like, people don't understand in the kitchen that are, people that only understand the kitchen is kind of like militant. So you think about it, you have your general, you have your sergeants, you have things like that, and you have your executive chef. It's the same thing. It's a brigade system in the kitchen.
Absolutely. I
So
totally agree with that. There is that, there are those succession levels of who is in charge of what. And yeah, it has to be stringent like the military.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So that's work I kind of was like gonna do, and so I just fell into love with it. And cooking, I became a sous chef at a young age, and things like that. And then I became an executive chef at a young age, and then I became a food director, and so on and so forth. But I went back to being an executive chef. It was just too much paperwork. Not a lot of chefs like paperwork and stuff, and they like to be more in the kitchen, and you know what I mean, instead of doing all the paperwork. So I got back into doing not so much paperwork, just how it goes. So I just love cooking, and
So,
it's hard, but you combine it both.
so basically from high school, okay, so you're doing home ec. Are you also working at restaurants at this point? Are you, did you,
Yes. Yeah, I started off as a dishwasher at 15 years old. So I was a dishwasher at 15. So I've been working my whole life. And then I started in the kitchens at 15, and then I just worked my way up at hotels, country clubs, resorts, and then now these days I'm working at senior living communities and hospitals now because they're in demand, especially with this COVID stuff
is
going
that with
on.
a lot of prep work? Are you basically making prepped foods to deliver?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we still make, even though we're in the hospital or like retirement community, you're still making fresh foods and things like that. But it's more, you have your sous chefs, you have all that, So it's good, but there's just the paperwork aspect of it that's boggling you down and stuff that you still have to do.
Well, I'm
Menus.
personally a fan of paperwork. I mean, I'm very good at pushing that pen, and
We'll come to San Antonio. Come on, and then I can bring you and you can do the paper. You can do the paperwork also.
I could do logistics work. I could definitely do logistics work.
Awesome. Yes, that's great. So I'm good at it. It's not like if I'm bad at it. I am good at it. It's
Yeah,
just
but
that.
just like you said, you like other chefs would just prefer not to have to deal with that and just do your forte, which is be in the kitchen and create.
Yes. Yes, that's what. Yeah, exactly. And then the paperwork boggles you down with the scheduling and the ordering, planning menus, planning food. They just don't understand. So like the cooks don't understand pretty much what you have to do. They just think you sit on your ass and not do anything, for the most part. You know what I mean? Oh, chef's just in the office sitting on his ass.
I think I'm gonna have to
and I
move
do
down there
nothing.
because I think I could definitely fucking as an executive assistant when it comes to logistics. I mean, I could
Definitely.
fucking, I think I could handle this quite well.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good. You should come to San Antonio, and definitely you'll have a job over here. Just give me a call, and then you'll definitely have a job.
Well, as soon as I
So
can
I
either
mean,
get over the border legally or illegally, then I'll let you know.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So and I used to like doing high end stuff. I used to like doing the caterings, the high end caterings and stuff. I kind of miss
Oh,
all that
slow
stuff.
down, slow down, Gabe. We gotta go. We gotta provide the people with the proper, storyline.
Okay, perfect.
So the thing is, okay, so you're in high school, junior high school. You do home ec. You're starting to recognize that you have an affinity for this stuff,
Yes.
and okay, so you have jobs during high school, making, doing your hustle, making your money and stuff. Okay, you graduate high school, right?
Yeah.
What happens then?
So I graduated high school, and then I went to New York. I lived in New York for a little bit after I went to
Hold on.
culinary
Where'd you
school.
move from? Okay, so you moved to New York, but from where?
I was because I'm from San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, so you've
So I
always
live
been
in.
there and you actually made that move all the way to fucking New
Yeah. I
York.
went to New York.
You
Yeah,
threw
I
the
went to New
dice.
York.
You basically threw the dice and say, let's fucking do
Yeah.
this. That's
Yeah, dude. I
gutsy,
went to
dude.
New
That's
York.
very
Yeah.
gutsy.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I went to New York. I know what I wanted to do, so I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna move to New York after I
Well,
got out
what
of.
did you want to do? When you made that, what is it that at that point, what is it that you wanted to do?
So I really wanted to be an executive chef on a cruise ship. That was my dream. Like that's
That's
my
a good
dream to
gig.
do. Yeah, that was the ultimate gig. I wanted to cook on a cruise ship, and so I just never did cook on a cruise ship, but I wanted to cook on a cruise ship, And so that's what I was doing. That's what I wanted to do. And so I never got to that point of cooking on a cruise ship, but I did. You know what I mean? I wanted to try it out, and then it didn't work out like the way I planned it to work out. So you know what I mean? So it was good, but God blessed me with other talents and things like that, and that's what I did. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I did that. That's what I really wanted to do.
So you went to New York at what age? 19,
I went to New
20?
York at no, I went to New York at 19.
How long did you stay there?
I was there for 2.5 years. Yeah, I was there for 2.5 years to like 21. Then I came back. I got a little homesick, and I came back. And then I wanted to try the San Antonio, the Texas cuisine scene. So that's what happened. But I went to school. So I went to culinary school at Le Cordon Bleu in Austin, Texas. So I went San Antonio to Austin,
This was
and
after
then
New
I went from
York or
Austin to
before?
New York.
Sorry, this was after New York or
This
before?
was after New York, yeah, because I did my externship in New
Okay.
York. Because like cooking school, you have restaurant management, you have quality control, you have all these classes. So you have your core classes in culinary school. So you still have your core classes, your algebra, pre-cal, all that stuff. Your basic culinary, your basic culinary classes. And then your basic classes. So first you got to take basic, and then you're in the labs, and then you're in the cooking labs after. First it's sanitation, and then you move them to labs like cooking 101, 102, 103, all the cuisines, international cuisine, all these cuisines. So you learn all that stuff, and then you go to a thing called restaurant review. And then that's the final thing before you do your internship there, and then you do your external wherever you want to go. So I decided to go to New York to work at a restaurant. So I worked at a restaurant at a French restaurant under a French chef who, by the way, was a dickhead. So,
Was it what? Sorry?
and so he was a dickhead. This French chef I was
Well,
working with,
most of the
but he was
French that I've
awesome.
ever
Like
met are,
usually,
so it's not uncommon.
and that's how he was. Like he was a douchebag, but at the same time, but that's how it was. And but it was good, And so, but for the past 4 to 5 months, I was peeling potatoes. So I was doing a stage. So it's a thing called stage, and so basically you cook for free. So I cooked for free for like 3 months,
Oh,
and then I made about yeah. So I was cooking. Well, it was prepping. You know what I mean. So I was prepping for 3 months free, working 12-hour days free to learn my craft under a chef. So the chef I was under, he was a 1-star Michelin chef, and he
it's
was
not
cool.
bad.
He was a good guy. Yeah, he was kind of a douche, but cool at the same time. But I was doing it for like I was doing it, I would say for a while, 4 months, and it was good. But at the same time, he did teach you a lot. Discipline. Just like in the military, they teach you discipline, and to be disciplined. At a young age, and not to f off. At a young age and stuff. And that's what I was doing, and just got disciplined in cooking, and I just did it, and I ran with it, and I just started building myself up.
So at that point, you moved back to Austin, you said, and you enrolled in school.
Yes, yes, yeah, exactly.
How long
So
was
yeah,
that?
so that's what it was. So so how it started first, I was in Austin, Texas. That's where I was in school, and then I went to New York afterwards.
So hold on. So you went to school first and then went to New York, or you
Yeah,
went?
yeah, I went to yeah. So like I lived in Austin. Yeah, at first the culinary school was in Austin, and then I went to New York afterwards.
Okay. So then you said you got homesick and you went back to Austin.
No, I went back to San Antonio because I'm
Oh,
from San
sorry,
Antonio.
San Antonio. Again, I'm Canadian,
It's
so.
okay.
Um,
No worries. I'm sorry.
so okay. So you go
Austin,
back. You
Texas,
you
and then
get
San Antonio,
homesick.
Texas.
You finish your thing. You go back
Yes.
to San Antonio, right? You-
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what happens then?
So anyway, so after that, I worked at a restaurant, and it was good. It was called Big on the Banks in San Antonio. It was a French restaurant, and another French restaurant I was working at, but in San Antonio. It was like French European. And
Question,
he was
question,
good. He's
question.
a really good guy. Yes.
Because you had just dealt with a chef, a French chef, before you went back to San Antonio, was that what you were gearing, or at least focusing yourself on trying to do cuisine wise? Like you just weren't applying to anything.
Yes.
You were just specifically looking for French restaurants to provide your skill with.
Yes, sir. Yes. And then they think just because like a Mexican or Hispanic, oh well, I'm gonna work at a Hispanic restaurant or Mexican restaurant. Every time I wear a chef coat on, they think I work at a Mexican restaurant. So I'm like, or somebody says, they'll bump into me. They say, "Oh, do you work at a Mexican restaurant?" I'm like, "No, I work at a French restaurant." And so I'm just like, okay. And if you go anywhere, there's always Mexicans in the kitchen,
Of
or
course there are.
Hondurans or things like that in the kitchens. Yeah. So
I've
even
talked
you go to
about the other
Chinese
day up
restaurant,
here in
there's Mexicans
Canada.
working those
Most of the
kitchens.
people in the kitchens are Tamils,
Uh
you know, or Chinese. So
huh. Yes, definitely. So I mean, it's good. You have all walks of life in the kitchen, all types, and but yeah, so it's good. And I learned like different cuisines, international, Italian, French, Mexican, Chinese, Mediterranean, all types. So and I wanted to learn different things. And I made a mistake. Actually, I used to work at Olive Garden. I don't know if you heard of Olive Garden.
yeah, we used to have them up here, but they're all gone now.
Well, figures. So basically, what the thing about Olive Garden, also, I don't want your viewers, the other guys, to know. Well, I kind of do that. Everything's prefab there, so I'm gonna really call it out. So a lot of this stuff is like not fresh
Of
when
course
you work at
not.
Olive Garden. Yeah, so a
I
lot of
mean,
it's
if their
pre-made
biggest
stuff, the
if their biggest
sauces.
fucking promotion is free salad and breadsticks, then you clearly are seeing that there is a an economic plan, and that lettuce
Yeah,
certainly isn't fresh.
yeah, exactly. So I was just like, oh, okay. So I mean, it's all good, but at the same time, Olive Garden, yeah, dude, like their soups it's all like pre-made. So the freshest thing in there, honestly, is the salad. That's the freshest thing you're gonna get
Oh
in
my
there.
god, and
The
that's not even that
breadsticks are all
fresh.
frozen. Everything's Yeah, exactly. I mean, everything's all frozen, man. Yeah. So y'all like the guys in the chat rooms, like in the chat room, in San Antonio, I probably like shoot me out some, and me and Dave, and I'll probably tell you some ones that I probably worked at. You're gonna be really shocked because I've worked in a lot of kitchens, and well-known ones too, restaurants, and you're gonna be shocked at this things like the craziness that you see in the kitchen.
No,
So
I'm not. I'm
yeah,
not.
it's
I'm
kind of a
not. I'm
madness. It's
not.
organized chaos.
No, I've seen it. I've seen it. I mean, there was places that I used to
Yeah.
frequent. I talked about it the other day. Bar I used to go to, and I was, acquaintances with the bar staff and the cook staff, and just seeing the shit that was going on in the background, made me, plus obviously I've got
Yeah.
Chef Ramsay and all these other people who have, sort of revealed, and sometimes a little bit embellished, but, the fact is, it's not a fucking,
Awesome.
you're not waltzing around and taking your time while you're preparing. Like literally, you have hellfire raining down upon you as people are ordering things, and it's chaos.
Definitely. It definitely is chaos. It's organized chaos, but sometimes it's
That's what they
disorganized.
call
It just
war.
depends on what type of kitchen.
And that's what they
Yeah,
call war is
exactly.
organized chaos.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, I've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing over 24 years
Well,
in the
clearly you're
kitchen.
made for it,
So,
because some people get into it and then get out because it's just too much of a strain on them. You
yeah,
gotta have a
definitely.
certain mettle to to be able to live that life.
Definitely. Yeah. And a lot of it does like rain on your family. You know what I mean? Because you don't have a family. Like your family is basically the kitchen. You know what I mean? You see more of the kitchen people, in the kitchen than your family. You're always at work. So, you know what I mean? So I got to stress that like so much. Whoever's deciding to be a chef, it's not for everybody. So I'm just letting y'all know that. I mean, say bye bye to family, functions, birthdays, holidays, all of it. Like just bye bye to it all because everything is your kitchen. So it kind of drives you mad, and it drives you insane a little bit, and you just fall in love with it more. And it's like a love hate thing, you know what I mean? You love it and you hate it at the same time. And
I've heard that a
but I'm
lot.
passionate. Yeah, and you just got to be passionate. And the money, the money's not. It's not the best. You can make high six figures if you know your stuff. But being a chef usually starts off from like 50 grand a year, all the way up to like 300,000 a year, depending if you're gonna like where you go, allowances, things like that. If you're working for McCormick and Schmidt's, if you're working for those big Campbell Soups, being a restaurant development, things like that. That's where the money is. So developing recipes for Campbell's Soup, all those big brands. That's where the money is and things like that. So, I
Really?
mean, the money. But it's not all about the money. Yeah, it's about passion, really. Because you
Well, no,
really don't
definitely
you
about
don't really
passion,
get
but
paid a lot.
no, you were talking about like making certain recipes, and I find that
Yeah,
odd. I think, especially
definitely.
now with the way that things are, somebody could make a fortune by sourcing local and keeping it local. So if somebody lives out
Definitely.
where I do, which is farm country, and utilizes their crops to create, organic, goods, you have a lot of a better chance to actually profit than as opposed to advertising this online, shipping this shit out, and at the cost of the shipping and so forth. So
Yeah.
because of the
Uh-huh.
situation right now, I think it's people are being forced to go back to shopping local, which I don't think is a bad thing at all because it helps the communities that you're in. But this
Yeah,
age
I
of
love local and
globalism is
sustainable.
over.
Definitely. Yeah, and I like farm to table too. Farm to table is always a good concept. You know what I mean? So I like that, and I
Well,
like
it's we
sustainable
lived
and
that way for
local.
thousands of years. I mean, that's what I find so
Exactly.
hilarious is that we're willing to like, oh, like the last 1,000 years or last 50 years even have been so prosperous. We don't have to look to the past to see what worked for us. Hot soup and rest when you're sick? No, just take some drugs.
Yeah, and that's just it just happens like that. But definitely the way the pandemic is right now and all this stuff, it's hard. I mean, we're already getting on a right now. Well, what's happening right now at work is that it's hard to find like a lot of like canned stuff in Texas, probably around the world or globally. There's a can shortage right now. There's a supply shortage of everything,
There's a worker
and it's nuts. And
shortage.
I don't know. There's a workers. Yep, exactly. It's because people don't want to work, and I don't know what it is. But we're experiencing a lot of shortages everywhere, like in the industry. Like I can't. I'm trying to order food. I can only get certain things. I can't. In the United States, it's hard right now. So I don't know about Canada, but in the United States, it's hard to get
Well, we're
food. Like
getting
it's hard to
yeah,
get stuff right now.
it's difficult here, and also the prices are just stupidly expensive. But I mean,
Oh my God, I know. Guess how much I was gonna ask you. I was gonna let you know that I'm doing beef tenderloins, right? I'm doing a roasted beef tenderloin, and guess how much four of them cost right now? Four chubs of meat cost right now.
at
Just one,
what
just
weight?
four chubs
What weight each?
at I would say 14 pounds each.
14 pounds
14
each.
pounders, four of them. 14 pounds, four 14-pound chubs.
I'm gonna just
Guess how
throw out a
much you're looking at?
guess. Just throw out a guess because I've seen too much. Like,
Okay.
actually, we got more inflation in Canada than you do have in America. But I'll say $1,000.
For four of them, you're looking at $855 just
Okay,
for
so
four
just
of
a
them.
little bit over. Just a little bit over.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
But
I'm
that's
like,
insane.
what? And
That's
they used to
in fucking
be,
insane. How
yeah.
much does it
And
come
then
out
you
to
know
each of
what?
them though? If it's 850 for four,
To come out to each of them, you're looking about, I would say, like 250, so probably 280.
oh
You think
my
about four eight
god!
hundred dollars, probably about, yeah. That's what I'm looking at. Round it off, probably around for like $800.
And
Yeah,
it's
it's
not like this.
like 200 and something.
And I've looked into this. It's not like look. There's enough supplies. There's enough supplies to provide. The problem is that there's no ability to transport it, and it's creating a delayed demand. So the meat is out there, but the problem is because the way it's they're forcing these supply chain
Yeah.
delays, it's actually causing the price to increase.
Yep. That's what's happening.
but it's available. I mean, like it's the same with
Hello?
gas, the same with vegetables. It's out there ready. The farmers are fucking producing this shit, but it's the supply chain that's been purposely
Yeah,
broken to try to
definitely.
create this problem.
Yeah. And that's what's happening, and it's just sad, but it's kind of real, and it's really happening. So just kind of be prepared right now for that. There's just a lot of weird stuff going on right now.
Absolutely. All right, so getting
Yeah,
back to the
definitely.
matter, all right, so you get back to Texas, you start working in French cuisine places, and what happens then? Do you diverge to another type of restaurant? Do you get offers to
Yeah,
do?
so definitely. Yeah, so I after that, I basically so after that French restaurant in San Antonio, I worked at. I started working at hotels, and then after the hotel situation, I started working in country clubs, and I loved working in country clubs. And so it's just that there's a lot of snobbery in country clubs, but they weren't snobs to me, but they were snobs to my cooks and stuff like that. So they liked that the fact that I was a chef, that I would go out there and things like that. They were good with me. It was just the fact that they kind of like looked down on my cooks, the rich people. So I'm just like still cooking for them and all that stuff. So, but you know how like some of those rich people are, they look down. It doesn't matter,
Yeah, they look down at the
they just look
work.
down on people, and I don't think that's cool. Yeah, exactly. And it's like we're the ones making your caviar. We're the ones making your fine dining food. And I have a bunch of refugees in the back. You know what I mean? Because I'm always sticking up for my guys, for all the people in the trenches. And because that's where I came from. I came from the trenches. I came from being a dishwasher. All the way up to an executive chef. So I know how it is to be, on those in the trenches, and still I'm still in the trenches with my guys. And then for rich people or stuck up snobby people, you know what I mean? And here I am making your foie gras, and I'm making all your stuff, and just to like belittle.
Not
I
all
just
of
I
them.
just kind of just felt weird.
It's not all of them that
Not
are.
all of them. A lot of them are grateful though. A lot of them are grateful. It's just that, but a lot of
There's
them
always
can't
a
do that.
few. There's always
And
a
and
few
I,
people that just.
I'm not saying a lot of them.
No, it's just that regardless of whether you're rich or poor, there's a lot of people out there that just don't think their shit stinks, and they think that they should be.
Exactly.
Shit, you
Yeah.
see this shit with videos from McDonald's. People think that they've got to be served a meal on a silver platter. So it could be from the lowest
Yeah.
echelons of society to the highest. You always have fucking these entitled assholes.
Exactly. So
See,
I
the
mean,
thing
it's
is
it's
though,
all good.
if I
But I
was
make
in
a
your
good living
position,
too. So
so I just got to say that if I was in your position, the problem is I'm too headstrong. So I would be very confident in the quality of my work, and though, like if I was a sous chef, for example, I would vet everyone that's working below me, and I would be observing how they do things to ensure that my name is not put through the mud because I didn't fucking vet my people properly. But if I was to experience some, rich asshole or poor asshole to shit on my staff about this, you've seen scenes of this in like movies and stuff where the chef comes out and berates the person that fucking shat on the meal, like where they, oh, this is too, I don't like my steak proper, i.e. medium rare. Go ahead and make it well done. And the chef comes out and's like, you want it well done? Here you go. I'm gonna force feed it to you. Like, that's the type of attitude that I would have, and that's why I
hell
don't think
yeah.
that I would be able to work in that. At least in the position of a chef, because I would get insulted by the way that my staff was treated, and I would come out and just embarrass them that out there in the middle of the fucking dining room, which isn't good for business. But you know,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. They don't understand how hard we work. And I'm sure they do, but they don't understand like the whole like echelon in the
how
kitchen,
about they spend 15
and they just
minutes?
don't. I don't think understand that. So
How about they spend 15 minutes in the kitchen while you guys are cooking up a fucking storm and see if they don't fucking like sweat out 50 pounds? You know?
yeah, exactly.
Like
That's
I
true,
know
man.
this
That's true.
stuff, like I know people who've worked in
Yeah.
this industry, and it's like It's grueling. That's the best way to explain it. It's grueling in the kitchen. The heat levels are crazy. Ventilation's often shit because the amount of fucking grease that has to be fucking absorbed. Not very often that shit's being cleaned. These people are fucking. I know people who worked
Yeah.
in the kitchen who had fucking. They got gangrene and shit on their feet and stuff because their feet would be like absorbing all this moisture from all the fucking liquids that were being spilled and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like kitchen. So, because you never know, you're around knives and you're around crazy people and you're around all walks of life and they're just everywhere. Grease everywhere, hot stuff. It's not for everybody. And you know what I mean? It's like walk a day in my shoes and you say, well, what we go through. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
But I do like to recognize the kitchen staff and stuff, and in certain restaurants that I'm familiar
Definitely.
with, for example, I do try to do so and tip, and I just at least verbally acknowledge. There's been times where I've asked for like the chef or whoever made my meal to come out, so I could just personally thank them. And it's not necessarily a financial sort of tip, but it is something that I think people do recognize because it does come from my heart, and other people do this too. It's just they want to thank the person that made their meal, and that is something that we've moved too much away from. I think back for thousands of years we had restaurants where people would sit amongst each other. They wouldn't even know each other on a big long table, and they would break bread together, and their chef would just be cooking for them, and they would in turn show their gratitude for just a great meal. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And then we usually in the industry we call that a family meal. And then when I used to work at restaurants, we used to always do that. Like when I worked at fine dining restaurants, we did that. I would cook a meal for them, and then that would show them gratitude like every day. You know what I mean? Thanking them like for that. And we'd take our breaks, and then I would make them like a Chateaubriand or something like that I had, and then whatever I had in stock, and then I would just cook it for them. And then I know sometimes we cooked that for Thanksgiving. I did a meal for them. Then Christmas we did a meal for them too. So especially the mom and pop places that you go to, that too.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're cutting off a little bit.
Sorry.
Oh, no. No, that's all I was ending at that. It's okay.
All right, so let's continue with your progression. So, move back to Texas. You initially go for
Yes.
French cuisine, then you start to pair off. Now, what happens next? Like, do you get some sort of like, does somebody approach you for, because right now you are in a position where, you've explained limitedly that you're extremely busy because you're handling a lot of different stuff. And you're also being involved in, the backside as well with the kitchen and so forth. So you got your hands and, your fingers in a bunch of different pies. And, I'm not meaning to be sexual. It's just more of a analogy. But you guys know what I'm saying. But the point is that, okay, so how did you get to this point here? What came between, you moving on from French food in Texas to where you are right now?
Well, it was just the quality of life. I would go in, work 18 hours a day just to become a sous chef and then become an executive chef. And still, I wouldn't see my family, And so it was just hard on me because I didn't see my family or anything. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to start doing retirement homes and still the same quality of food, but you have a quality of life. So instead of the 18-hour days, I'll pull 10-hour days or 9-hour days or sometimes 8-hour days. And then that's unheard of, like in the food industry, out of a restaurant. So I was just like, okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll go from there. And then my first gig, it was at a hospital, then a retirement home, and I liked it for a long time. But I was working at high end retirement homes, like they were paying about $7,000 a month living there to like $130,000 a year living there, bought in like in a condo, like a condominium. Home, but for the rich people, like for richer people.
But what was it
So
that you
like
liked
older
so much about
retirees.
working there?
So kind of when I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What is it specifically that you liked so much about working at that particular job?
Dave, you're breaking up. I can't hear you, bud. Like
Okay.
right now, it's kind of like staticky, and I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Really? Let me just check the stream.
Yeah. It's probably my connection. A
I
condo,
think it's
like
my
condominium.
connection.
I'm not too sure. Home, but for the rich, like for richer people.
But what was it
So
that you
like
liked so
older
much about?
retirees.
Okay, so
Can you hear me better?
the stream is working well, so it must be your connection. But what is it specifically that you liked so much from working at that retirement home?
I liked working there. It brought a lot of like joy working and cooking for the seniors, and I liked it. You know, I liked working there
Was it
and things like that. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, but was it okay? So, what was the situation? Was it like a cafeteria style layout where you would see
Oh
every
no, no,
person and serve them,
it was a
or
restaurant. It was actually yeah, it was Yeah, it was a restaurant. It was a restaurant style. So it's like restaurant style quality. So you have like awesome plates and you're sending tickets out. It's like a restaurant, but you're working in a retirement home. So any guys out there, I'm just letting you know that retirement homes are awesome to work at because you still like learn, from chefs and stuff, and you're still putting plating out and quality food out too. So your plating still there. It's still the same, but it's just it's a retirement setting. It's not like a nursing home. It's a retirement home. So, they spend a lot of money there. So after 55 years old, if they want to leave their house or their home, then they get to sell their house and retire and then just live off of that. So you don't have to, it's not a nursing home. A lot of people think a retirement home is a nursing home, and it's not. A nursing home is like for nursing, like, like individuals that have issues and problems. A retirement home is like you retire. You're already at the age of the golden years and you just want to retire. So I kind of liked working there.
all right, all right. So from there,
Yeah.
how do we get to where you are right now? Like right now, what exactly you're
So
managing
right.
multiple restaurants, from my understanding. You're handling logistics as well as cooking. So you're doing everything.
Yes. Yeah. I'm doing everything right now, and I'm happy. Like even though everything, like the way it is right now, because I'm having a lot of problems with my sous chef, and
Hmm.
right now he's just a mess. So
Whip him.
my sous chef right now, it's the sous chef I have right now. I'm sorry. What happened?
Whip him.
Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dave. You're like you're cutting it out like a lot. I don't know what it is. It's
It
a
must be
connection or
your
something.
connection, dude, because I've checked the stream. It's working well, but I said whip
Okay, it
him.
probably is my connection.
Whip him, as in use a whip, a leather whip, and just whoosh.
Okay, let me see. Okay, okay. Are you there? Can you hear me better?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. I think you're a little delayed because every time I respond, it takes you like a few seconds to respond back. So it's like the fake transmissions to the moon
Okay.
when they did that supposed landing. But that's another show altogether.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, do you want me to call you back or something and see if it's better, a better connection?
Yeah, you can try if you want. Yeah, no problem. We got still a
Let me
lot
call
of
you.
questions to go.
Okay. Let me try to call you back. Let
All
me try to
right.
call you back right now. Okay. Bye.
All right. So there goes Gabe Rodriguez, who's going to try to get his Obama phone working again. Also, I find it very comical the picture that I randomly chose to represent today's show has a guy in the middle that literally looks like Bullfrog. which is hilarious because Bullfrog doesn't cook. So that's quite comical, in my opinion. I think we've gotten some great information so far from Gabe Rodriguez. This guy's actually worked at some really good places, and he's got a lot of knowledge, and there's still a lot more that I'd want to ask him. So hopefully he can get his phone situation or his connection situation worked out, and we can continue this. I'm actually still thinking that I might do some Kerbals tonight. I've been watching some space videos, and yeah, I might do that. All right, here comes Gabe, the Michelin star chef, Rodriguez.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay, cool.
Obama phones and all that.
Great. So yeah, so basically, and I do right now. I have a supportive wife, Vanna. Hi, Vanna. Vanessa. Her name is Vanessa. Have a supportive wife right now, and I have a supportive family. So we're just trying to get through everything, the holidays and things like that. So it's a lot right now, but we're just trying to handle everything.
Yeah, she's been a big sort of cheerleader for you in my chats and comments and stuff. And,
oh yeah, she's great, man. She's great. She's a good person. We've been together for almost 10 years already.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. I appreciate it, man. But she's been through all of it. You know what I mean, with me. So
well,
yeah,
exactly. Any woman that could stand by a chef, first, is very loyal, and second, has a good appetite.
Definitely. Oh yeah, she does. She has,
or at least good taste.
Well, that's why she's with me, right?
So basically, she doesn't have to lift a finger. It's like, okay, Gabe, make me some food. Tonight, I would like lobster and steak. Yes, my darling.
She cooks
happy wife, happy life.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Because she'll whoop that ass. You know what I mean? So,
well, as long as she provides another means, then you're providing something. She provides others, and everyone's happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. And yeah, but she's very. See, my wife is very traditional. She's an American woman. She's Mexican American, but she's definitely traditional. Like she's a definitely great woman.
Those are the most fiercest protective of their mates. They
definitely.
I mean, shit, World Star. I mean, come on, like you've seen the shit. Like,
yeah,
you just don't want to mess with a Mexican American girl when it comes to her man because shit happens.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. Oh yeah, and her family. You don't want to mess with none of them. You know what I mean?
Yo, I'm Latino. I know. Yeah, like once you involve the family, once the family wants to get involved, whether you want them or not, then it's over. It's just like you have no control over it no more.
Yeah, and yeah, she's a really good woman. It's just I can't ask for a better mate. And things like that. But
well, that's awesome, man. You're blessed. You got a great job that you enjoy. You do what you love, and you love what you do. You got a wife that supports you. You got an extended family that supports you. I mean, like, you're blessed, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. When is the Mrs. Dave Rose ever going to come around?
You sound like my mother.
Oh, man. Well, you never know, bro. You never know. There's a lot of fish in the sea.
I'm waiting until the mask die off from the jab to figure out who I can peg without getting some sort of viral disease. So
that's
gonna have to take a break
sure. Well,
on that sort of thing for a while.
Yeah, well, you never know, man. You never know. You may find one. You just know.
That's true. I do live in farm country, and there's Amish and Mennonites and stuff, and
cool.
They definitely don't take that sort of thing. So.
Cool. Speaking about Latinas, do you like Latinas?
I am very partial to las Latinas, and
nice.
Argentina has some great ones. I mean, it's that combination of Spanish and European, either German or Italian stock that just creates.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I know I'm biased, but Argentina probably has probably the most beautiful women in all of South America. Sorry. I know I'm
Yeah.
biased, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
recognize
Hey.
that Brazilians, Venezuelans, Colombians, they're hot as fuck. But man, Argentinians, because of they got that European stock, and I'm biased to the
Yeah.
European stock.
Yeah, you are.
They've got some great fucking attributes, if you want to call it that.
They got some nice assets.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
Something I would
that's cool.
invest in.
Hey man, I mean, we're still guys, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know what I mean, babe, I love you, but you know what I'm saying. So,
Hey,
I mean, you know what I
exactly.
mean? But yeah, but that's good, man. That's good. Well, anyway, so let's get back to cooking.
All
Like
right.
questions.
So, you've now moved into this position that you're doing right now where you're handling a bunch of different responsibilities. Now, obviously, that can be overwhelming for those that aren't built for the business, but clearly you are. Next, tell me exactly what are the challenges when it comes to dealing with these multiple responsibilities rather than what you initially, were focused on, because you said your ideal goal was being a chef on a cruise ship. Now you're in Texas. Now you've got all these responsibilities, all these people below you. Um, Tell me how that works.
So basically, back in the day, I was your typical Gordon Ramsay chef. You didn't want to like deal with me, and I was an asshole. Just most chefs are
That's
assholes.
exactly the chef
Oh,
that I want to fucking deal with. Doesn't
yeah, you
settle
know what I
for
mean.
anything less.
And I was like that. I'm not like that no more. I guess because of my age, I'm almost 40 years old, right? I'm
You
39,
sweated it out,
and
dude. It
so
was all the heat from the kitchen. You sweated it out.
yeah, I think so, bro. It's like I shit it out and I sweat it out, right? So I just stopped it, man, because I had to stop being that way because I was bad, dude. I'm talking about like a Ramsey type. So I was like that. I would just kick everybody out of my kitchen. If you didn't like it, get the hell out. You know what I mean? Things like that. I would fire people. I remember firing like 7 people in one day.
Oh, shit.
Seriously, I told them get the hell out. Yeah, for real. I
You
was an
sound like
asshole,
me with a
man. And
fucking wrench in a chat. It's like, you're gone, you're gone, you're
oh,
gone,
speaking
you're
about
gone.
wrench, thank you for that blue wrench. I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. So,
Plus, I give one
yeah.
to your
So,
lady as well.
oh, dude, you're the man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man. Anyway, so so I was an asshole, man, and I didn't want to be like that no more. And I changed because I knew in the back of my mind, I had a bunch of things like anxiety happening going on, and it didn't sit well for a long time. I'm already like 40, heading 40. I'll be 40 in July. You know what I mean? So and it's like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. In my 20s, I was like that. In my 30s, I was like that. But in my 40, my early 30s, I was like that. And then I just stopped. I would say about 6 years ago, I stopped like that. But I'm like calmer. I'm more in control. I was in control, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not like that no
No,
more. I mean,
I totally understand you.
yeah, and I just don't want to live like that no more. And because of all the
Age
pressure,
age provides insight into
definitely.
these sorts of things, and sometimes. Well, the thing is though, it's the passion of your earlier ages that fuels you. And yet, when you look
Yeah,
back and you say, okay, well, this either no longer works now, or perhaps a better strategy could be used to be more conducive, it's time for me to change. And that's just a sign of maturity.
yeah.
Because it
Thank
might
you
have
for that.
worked in the past. Like again, like when you're in your 20s and stuff, you need that fire, that passion, that drive to push you and to show others that you're fucking dedicated. But as time goes on, it's only sensible to, have some retrospect and look back and say, okay, now that I have this situation in front of me, what is a better, with my knowledge now, my wisdom, what is the better way to move forward, building on what I've learned from the past? So yeah, what you're saying is absolutely factual.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. And it showed me a lot. My maturity level. My wife's always told me, she's like, "Man, you've matured a lot, Gabe," and things like that. And because the way you used to be, now you're getting more grounded. and established, and you're already established, but now you're calming down.
It's
You know
just
what I mean?
wisdom that
And
comes
you're
with age. We can't expect it.
exactly,
We can't force it either. We have to experience sometimes. We have to experience life. And then, only then, can we take from that and build that wisdom that will add to our experience.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
can't force it. It doesn't work.
Hmm. Definitely, that's true. Definitely is 100%. So now, like, my focus is more on is quality. It's been quality, but now it's time to be a manager that's going to manage my team the right way and lead them instead of it's just about me. Because back in the day, in my 20s, it's always about me, like me, 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 me. Still is about me, obviously, but I mean, it
Yeah, but
was
you didn't have
just
as
me.
many
It's
responsibilities back then, did you?
yes,
You weren't
exactly.
responsible for other people, were you?
No, no.
Exactly.
Like I was
Now it's
responsible,
different.
but it's different now. Yeah, it's different. Once you get on that executive plateau, and then you know what I mean. It's different now. And I've been an executive chef for a long time already, but it's different now. You know what I mean? Because I have so many years now. Then it's just like exactly what you're saying. It's just maturity level now, and I've had so much underneath me, and now I have more responsibilities and things, and it's more for an older person to handle that is great at their
Experienced.
craft, experience
Exactly.
and great at their craft. Yes,
Yeah, no,
and
no,
so that's what it's about.
you could not fulfill that role at 20. But now that you're,
No,
close to 40, you now have the necessary experience that you actually will fulfill the job properly. It couldn't have happened any other
exactly.
way.
Yeah, exactly. And then how I think of it, there's 20-year-olds in my position, and they can't handle it. You know what I mean? That they
Mm-hmm.
break, and they
Yep.
they just, you know what I mean? And that's what happens. They're young, and then they get positions at young ages, and it's just too much for them.
It's
And then they didn't
overwhelming.
think. Yeah, and then they just get out of culinary school, and it's like I've known people that went to culinary school in America, the CIA, you know what I mean, and the best culinary school besides Johnson and Wells, and then they come out and they're like 22, 21, and they're become right out of the culinary school they become an executive chef. So I'm like, you haven't even got your experience in to even do it to become an executive chef. You just get out right after culinary school. Like they vetted you like right after. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
No, but it
So you
happens
still need.
very often is that these kids come out of college and they think that they're going to be able to jump in straight into a 140K job to be like worshipped as some sort of great figure and not have to deal with the realities of working in a restaurant. I've seen this so often.
Yeah, and that's what happens, and then they f up, and they mess up, and then they just like, oh crap, what did I do? And then yeah, and they're not experienced, and a lot of it's like HR, HR, it's like HR. You know what HR stands for? To me, it stands for human relations. You know what I mean? Because you have to do that. You have to be a part of a team in the kitchen. It's not just about you, and that's you're a whole team in that kitchen. And so it's HR stands for human relations, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Instead of human resources, it's human relations because you have to be related to people. Back in the day, I just thought HR was just HR. You go send them HR. But realistically, HR is human relations, and you train these guys the way you need them to be trained, and you have to like treat everybody with respect in the kitchen. And now it's just like now that's ingrained to me to like respect people. You know what I mean? The ones that are
I
below
don't think
me
that you
and
need
teach them.
HR to teach you that. HR has been used to, levy false claims against people, and
Yeah,
it's not necessary because normal people would realize, okay, there's a conflict between these two people. I, as the boss,
yeah,
I'm going to take them into private, and we're going to have a nice discussion. Nobody else needs to
yeah,
be involved. Nobody else is going to know about it. But I'm going to be the
yeah,
one who fucking settles this. So you don't need an extra
exactly.
department stealing money from the company because, oh, my feels, my feels. Get the fuck out of here. That's what HR is.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's how my sous chef is. He's just I had a lot of issues with him. I still do, and he's a snake. And I'm trying
Oh,
to
that's
deal with that.
unfortunate.
And Yeah, man, and he's been gunning for me the whole the whole time I've been there. So he's just been like that, and I'm never gonna let him get the best of me. And he's a toxic person, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna deal with toxic
Document
people.
it, and prepare to present it to your human relations department,
Definitely, yeah,
because these are the people that are toxic to the environment, and if you can lay out a good sort of plan, then they'll be immediately fired.
exactly. Even a PIP will work, a performance improvement plan. Those always like a PIP. I don't know if you heard of PIP, but yeah, PIPs actually work too. Sometimes they're set up for people to fail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, they do try to
yeah,
do that.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, yeah.
So you're okay. So how many restaurants are you managing right now?
Right now, I'm doing about three. I'm doing three right now, three outlets
And how many
right now.
people?
So
Okay, in total, how many people are you managing?
165.
Shit. Okay,
Yeah, so
so
165 people.
and that's dispersed, as you said, amongst three different locations.
Yes.
And do you find the management differentiates between all the different places? Are you trying to like get in there
Well, I
and
mean,
say,
it's the same management. Yeah, it's the same management. I'm just in charge of those three outlets. So whatever all the food comes out,
but
it's like what you said. It's your name on it. So
but
it is
no,
my
no.
name on
What I'm
everything.
wondering though is that because it's three different locations, do you notice that you have to interject to try to maintain some sort of I don't know, equal standard amongst all three locations?
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's why you have your manager, you have your other supervisors there, and you know what I mean. So you have all those people in place. You know what I mean. You have their aces in their places. You know what I'm saying. So you have all those people, and you have to ensure that they're running, each department smoothly. It's still the same umbrella, but you got to make sure you're managing your management team. You know what I mean, and expect a high level of execution at all places. So if I go somewhere, it has to be consistently throughout all the other places. And if it's
Yeah, but
not,
how
then you're damn right
difficult
I'm
is
going to
it
say
to
something.
maintain that? Is my question.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's extremely difficult. It's a lot of pressure that's on you constantly all the
But
time. You're always like,
but that's the thing. Okay, so you've got managers that might not be running things the way that they should. So you speak to them, but are you also speaking to the employees? Are you telling them?
no. So I do speak to employees, but I try to guide the employees, but I also try to guide the management team too to let them know, hey, they're messing up, but I'm going to tell them too as well that they're messing up, and then I'll talk to them with somebody present in there because HR right now. I mean, people right now. It's so you have to have a witness for everything now.
Yeah,
You
yep,
got to have the extra person in
yep,
there.
you do with
Yeah, because
everything.
there's still that Me Too movement. Yeah, there's still that Me Too movement, and if a woman's there, you have to have always somebody in present, on the side of you because there's always falsely accusations, harassment, sexual harassment, this and that, and it didn't even happen. You know what I mean? But there's that woman in there, and you're talking to that person, that woman, or whoever it is, and they can just put something on you. That's why you always have to have a witness with you
Yep. All
to
right.
document that.
I know, dude. I know.
So it's kind of difficult. But yeah, so going back to your question, yeah, it is difficult, but it is attainable. You just gotta like have that standard and make sure everybody follows that standard. And if their manager's not following them, then you get somebody else that's gonna follow them, and that's it. So you try to work with them the best you can. If they're not doing it, then you just look for somebody else.
Yeah. Hopefully you get what you need when it comes to your chef there. And if he
Yeah,
gets
definitely,
fired, hopefully that will work out for the best for you.
definitely.
All
That's
right.
cool.
So we've got you now managing three different restaurants, 160 people, I believe you said. And, you're busy as fuck. You explained how, even during American Thanksgiving, you were inundated with work. And now that the holiday season is upon us, you're also quite busy. And I'm sure that as you get both to Christmas as well as to New Year's, you're going to be even more overwhelmed. Is that correct?
Oh yeah. Yes, yes. I am so overwhelmed right now. It is nuts. Like, you know, and like I said, my poor wife, she's dealing with all of it right now, and then her family, my family as well. So
You guys get
it's
at least
just
get free food, right? I mean,
yeah,
you could.
definitely, man.
There you
That's
go.
definite. Yeah, free food and free booze. I'm just kidding. So, but you got to handle it, you know, and that's what we're doing. We're just doing that. But I'm extremely busy right now, and you know, I've been listening to you, you know, as I'm working and things like that. So I apologize if I couldn't, you know, do these things, the streams with you. It's just I've been so busy with everything going
Oh no,
on.
no, 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 no. You don't
Yeah.
have to apologize for shit.
Okay, cool, man. I appreciate that. So anyway, so yeah, dude. So it's just been nuts right now. Just trying to juggle everything: family life, home life, work life, and work life. Right. So I'm just trying to balance everything out right now and just doing what I got to do to survive and get through New Year's and then in January, clean slate. You know what I mean? And just do that and then start off 2000, you know, and 23. So we'll see what happens.
Well,
But
that
it'll be good. It'll be good.
it sounds like. So, are you working Christmas Eve? You're gonna be working
Yeah,
Christmas.
I'm actually working Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Oh, Christmas Day as well. And where
Yes,
in one particular restaurant, or are you just gonna be
I'll be
managering?
I'll be in that place. I'll be in that place. Yeah, that restaurant right there. I'll be working the I'll be working lunch. I'll do a brunch. It's like breakfast and lunch, and then brunch for New Year's Eve, and then I'm sorry, Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day, and then I'm working New Year's Eve too, and New Year's Day. I'm working back both holidays.
Well, hopefully that's double time and a half. At least that's what it is up here in Canada for at least Christmas Day.
Well,
So,
the thing is, I'm on salary.
oh,
So
that's not fun.
yeah, yeah. So yeah. So I'm
Well,
working a lot.
hopefully the benefits will compensate
Oh,
you
the
for.
benefits are great, dude. Like the benefits are great.
See, I'd be
I
willing to
pay. You know how
compromise for
much?
that. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll work Christmas Day, but I damn well better be able to just waltz into a fucking, I don't know, a
Well,
dental
my
place.
boss is awesome. The director, she's awesome, dude. She's awesome. Like she will give you she will like if you're a great worker for her, she will dude. She is awesome. She's like, you know what, chef? If you done all this for us, then take a week off. We'll figure it out. Take
They
two
call
weeks
you
off. We'll figure it
chef?
out.
Nice.
Yeah, they call me chef. Yep. So yeah, they do that. They call me all that, and yeah, that's all they call me. So yeah, you get tired of it after a while. I mean, it's great, but at the same time, it's like I'm a person still. So yeah.
So, okay. What's in store in the future for Gabe, the Michelin chef
Well,
Rodriguez?
you know what I want to do, Dave? I want to do, and I don't know, but I want to do a food truck. What do you think about that?
I'm digging it, dude. I'm fucking digging
Yeah,
it. Those
man. Like
things
I
are.
want to get out of.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what were you gonna
No, go ahead,
say?
dude.
I want to get it. I want to get out of. I want to get out of the scene, dude. The food. I'm still want to be in the food industry. I just want to get out of people telling me what to do, and then
Be
going
your
in.
own
And you know,
boss, baby.
I want to be my own boss, bro. And you
Yeah.
know what? Vanna really backs me up. And she does tell me, like, you know what? Finally, you know, she finally said, yes, you know, get your food truck. If that will make you happy, get your food truck. She finally told me that like a couple of months ago.
I'll be
And I'm
honest.
like, really? Yeah.
On
And
like
she's,
analyzing, the economic situation, I've seen that food trucks seem to have been able to survive this
yeah.
storm of economic ruin, and first of all, it allows you to be your own boss. Second, it allows you
Definitely.
to define your own brand. That in
Yes.
itself is important because it, who you are is defined by how you project that and such. And you now
Uh-huh.
have the ability to create whatever sort of meals, however you choose to do so. And you have no one to answer but to yourself. So if that's your dream, I fucking encourage you to do so because I think that you would be extremely successful, especially with all that you revealed tonight so far.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I want to do that. I've been wanting to do a food truck. You know what I mean? So I want to do all that stuff, and I want to work for myself. That's the thing, is I want to be my own boss. Every chef wants that.
And the
I don't care what y'all say.
the
Y'all do.
independence of having a food truck allows you to just stake out different festivals, go to different locations. You are mobile now. You have that. It's not a storefront. You're not stuck
Yeah,
in one location. You can go and you can cater. There's so many events where
exactly.
even weddings and stuff where people ask
Yeah,
for food trucks, and you store. You put yourself there, and there might be other competitors or whatever you want to call them, but the fact is usually with weddings, for example, what I've seen is that they'll have like four different food trucks, for example, each different. So it's not like you're serving burgers and somebody else is serving burgers. There's no competition. There's burgers, Indian food, Chinese, and whatever. So and again, you're being paid just to serve food. There's no, like,
exactly.
you don't have to worry about charging every single person. It's like, no, you were paid there to basically have an open bar, but food worth, and
Yes.
you're just serving. So there's no rush. Like, yeah, if you can accomplish that, I commend you, and I know that you can do it because of your skill and your experience. Because again, skill and experience need to be tied together. But if that's your dream, man, I wish you all the best, man, because I know that you could do well.
Thank you, Dave. You as well, man. And you're getting somewhere too in this YouTube universe, and you are, bro. And keep on doing it because a lot of people
This
are
is just
listening to you.
no. See, YouTube for me is just for fun. I like to
That's
interact with
awesome,
people like
dude.
you. I like to interact and just discuss things. There's no end game for me. Unlike you, you've got your end game, which is freedom with your food truck. In fact, that would be a
Yes.
great name, Freedom Food Truck.
Ooh,
And you
there you go.
you can send me a little maybe sample of food. I won't ask for monetary food, but
I'm gonna send you cash money, brother. Cash money.
But yeah, no. But the thing is, though, to me, this is just fun, and I don't push donations or anything like that. This is just to me. I like to interact. I like to have my brain going and stuff, and just learning. Because again, I'm an amateur when it comes to cooking, especially compared
Yeah.
to you. I just have a passion, but that passion I think exists in every single human being. But
Yeah, definitely.
speaking to you, for example, gives me that insight of some stuff that I, seem to have known before you told me about it, but just that the environment, how it works, what you have to deal with and stuff. And, I don't know if I could cut it, when it comes to what you do, but as a ancillary or, separate assistant, like somebody who's handling logistics. Like, for example, if me and you were working together for the same company, you were telling me, okay, we got all these meals planned. We need, X amount of broccoli, X amount of lettuce, X amount of. I would be able to handle that. I know I could do that, but. And I love to cook, but could I put on the show that you do? I don't think so. I mean, I'd be willing to
Wow.
fucking, on a competition show, I'd be willing to try it out, but I'm certainly not going to win it. I'll do my fucking best, and you'll see the best come
Yeah.
out of Dave. But I know my place. I know my skills, and I know that there's people that are infinitely more talented than me when it comes to creating food. And I'm sort of, what's the best word? Just inspired by them. You and other people, even random people on the internet, just cooking and creating. To me, that just inspires me.
Definitely, yeah. It's definitely grown a lot. Like with the Food Network. It's like I was telling you the other too many chefs that we did. Cooking used to be looked down upon. I mean, now it's not. It's
Mm-hmm.
like everywhere now,
Mm-hmm.
and chefs are like rock stars.
Yes.
And that's the way it's treated. Like right now, especially right now, and that's just the way it is. Like right now, it's been like that since 2006 or 2005. It's
That's
been
when
kind of
all the
glorified.
reality shows started coming in.
Yeah, Top Chef and all that. I think it started when Top Chef was like really big, about 2005, 2006, and then Food Network, all that. It just got glamorized, and then chefs are like really looked upon. Back in the days, we were just grunts, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just like, you know, we're still cooking for presidents and all these ambassadors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But now it's really well known, you know, especially like with TV. It's like what you were saying with the Food Network. It's just really glamorized right now. But they don't understand the other part of it. You know what I mean? The actual dishes, washing dishes in the back. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
the
Like
trench
everything.
work.
The trench work, mopping floors, you know what I mean? Washing dishes, all that trench work. That's the trenches, man. And then what you see out there is not the reality of what's back out, you know, what's back inside. Because it's a show, you know, it's like what, the show must go on. It's a show. You know, like we're showing everything in front of the house. But back of the house, then you're releasing everything. It's a show. It's like what you said, you put on that show. It's a show. That's what it is.
There's a, my God, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look this up right now. Um, God damn it. There's a movie that talks about sort of like the situation in the kitchens and stuff. Slammin' Salmon. Do you remember?
No, I never heard of that.
No. Okay, it's a
Nuh-uh.
comedy movie. It's got the guy from the Green Mile, Michael Duncan Clark, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so basically, I'll just give you the plot summary here from Wikipedia. Okay, so, but dude, you got to check this out because I think you will specifically dig it. So it's a
Okay.
2009 American comedy by Broken Lizard, which is a group of several comedians. I believe they're the same ones that did Super Troopers.
Okay.
It's
Cool.
about an owner of a restaurant and that's Michael Duncan Clark. Okay, so he's a former, boxing champion. So he holds a contest to see which one of his waiters can earn the most money in a single night. The winner receives $10,000 and the loser receives a beatdown by the owner, Cleon
Oh
Salmon,
shit.
a former heavyweight boxer. Um, and dude, this movie is fucking hilarious because the shit that they're doing, like the waiters, for example, it's not just the the cook staff, but it's the shit that the waiters are doing to try to like sort of butter up their customers to get donations and tips and shit. It's spectacular. And Michael Duncan Clark, this was one of his final movies, but he just did such a great job because he acted like an idiot almost. I don't want to spoil it for you or anybody if
Yeah.
they haven't seen it, but it is such a good movie. You definitely have to check it out, especially since you have that knowledge of the restaurant industry.
Yeah. Oh man, he was a good actor. Man, too bad he passed. Yeah, he was a good actor. Definitely, that's awesome. Have you seen that movie Burnt?
Burnt.
Yeah, it's with Bradley Cooper.
I have not.
It's like a chef movie. It's Bradley Cooper's in it. He stars in it,
Really?
and it's a really good
Is
movie.
this
Yeah, it's
a
about
recent
Michelin's.
movie? How long?
It happened about 2 years ago.
Oh,
But I don't know if y'all know it in Canada, but it's called Burnt. It's with Bradley Cooper, but he's a Michelin star chef,
look,
and
we've
it
had
talks.
electricity since the 1800s. We're not that backdated, but okay. Um, but no, I've
So
never heard of this movie before, and I didn't realize that it came out 2 years ago. So he was
yeah, it
playing a
came out
chef.
about two. Yeah, he plays like a Michelin star chef, and it's actually Chef Ramsay approved because Ramsay and another chef, Chef Ramsay's friend, they were doing the movie. They were not producing it, but they did a lot of commentary in it, and they do like a lot of behind the scenes with Bradley Cooper
Oh
in
yeah.
it. Yeah, and so if you look it up, or I would like suggest maybe you look it up and see it. It's a really good movie. It really talks about
So
like the
they
industry, how it
consulted
really
on the
is.
movie basically.
Yes, exactly. They're the chef consultants of the movie. So it was Chef Ramsay and another guy. I forgot his name, but anyway, they were consulting in the movie. And it's one of Chef Ramsay's old proteges, not Marco Pierre White. It was another guy, one of his other proteges, and he took under his wing. And yeah, so now they were chef consultants in the movie, and it's really good. And so and it talks about like the industry, how it really is, and that is so what it is. And so you need to check it out. It's a really good movie.
Burnt. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see what this is about. So, what era is it set in? Is it like current era?
It's sent like in the 90s. I think
Oh,
it's sent
90s.
like in two. No, you know what? No. Forgive me. Actually, it's 2000, probably 2017, because he's cooking like he's in the 90s, and that's what it's about. It's about like, he's like this chef who's like a Michelin star chef, and then he was like a badass apparently, and then he would shout. He was like a Ramsay type, and then nobody liked him, and then he was like he would scream at everybody. He was yelling and all this stuff, and then he got out of the scene, and he was into drugs and all this stuff. And yeah, it's just a really good movie, and it's basically portrays the life of the kitchen, how it really is, working at that level.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check this out now.
Yeah, it really talks about how it is in the actually in the Michelin star restaurant, like fine dining, how it really is. And man, I'm telling you, that's brutally how it is. Like I'm like, what? Because I used to work at that level, like back in the day, you know. And then until I got into these places, and man, and that's when he was at his peak, and in that movie, and it's so like that. But you really need to check it out.
Let me say two things. One, phone lines or Skype lines are open for anyone who wants to ask Gabe any questions when it comes to his experience. And two, Gabe, without incriminating anybody, and you have a right to not even answer this question, was there a lot of coke use in certain restaurants to keep chefs going?
Oh yeah, dude. That's why they don't call them. That's why they don't call them line cooks for nothing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Never heard that one, but hey, it makes sense.
You never heard that one? Yeah, dude. I used to, dude. I'm telling you, bro. I'm not incriminating no one, but back in the day, I used to have a chef. Right? I was a sous chef back in the day, and I had a chef. And dude, I'm telling you, he was a major cokehead. Like he had a cross, like the Jesus crosses. Mm-hmm. Well, he had a twisty cross, like where you have the cross and you twist it. Well, he would actually put coke in the cross. Yeah, dude. And then he would be like, "Hey, Gabe, you want to do a line?" I'm like, "No." So, yeah. So, no, thank you, sir. But he would do that. He would tell me all that stuff. And
the bigger question is, how good were their meals?
Oh, well, dude, they were good, bro.
And they were able to put them out quite quick, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, dude. I'm telling you, but when he was not like...
Give me another order!
Dude. Yeah, that's how he was, dude. And he would be all like weird, dude. He'd be dancing around like a little fairy sometimes.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, what the hell? Yeah,
and were you managing at this point?
Yeah, huh?
Oh my God, having to deal.
Yeah, he was a director too. He was a food director.
Oh
and
my
I was
God.
Like, what the
I don't
hell?
know how I would deal with that because
nuts.
I would personally be like, okay, well you're good, you're clearly good at this, but like I need you to like calm down. So like let's put you in the corner here, and we'll keep bringing you the fucking food, but like,
oh, dude.
Oh my God.
Sorry. I'm like laughing. I'm so sorry, dude. No, he was telling me like one time, Gabe, he's like, because we were going to Whataburger. It's this like well-known place. I don't know if you know what a Whataburger is.
We certainly don't have those here, but I know of them.
Okay, so they have one.
They're apparently only
they have a lot in San Antonio.
Texas, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think they are. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Anyone in the chat knows. I don't know. Like, I just know that they're in Texas and San Antonio. But in Austin and all that. But anyway, so he's like, hey, let's go to Whataburger. We're getting off, right? We're getting off like at 9 at night, and we just work we were there till 6 a.m, and we were just leaving like at 9 o'clock. And so we were doing that, right? And we were just we had a long day, and he's like, hey, let's get in the car, and you're gonna go with me in my truck. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, chef, cool. And then he was like, and then so we were driving, right? And he was just like, hey, what are you looking at? Like, he was all coked up, man. He's like, hey, you want a wine? I'm like, what? And then he was all drinking, and he was drinking beer.
Oh,
he was just drinking, and he was doing lines. And everybody that was like in his truck, like, he was like honking at everybody, and he was like, "Oh man, I'm doing so good right now." And
Was he
I was
driving?
just
Hold
like,
on. Was
"What?"
he driving?
He was driving,
Oh
dude. I was
God.
like, "What?" Yeah, he was all coked up, man. And I was just like, "What the hell?" And it was cool, man. But it was what an experience. This guy was, man,
White knuckle tight
he was a
cool.
hard ass. Yeah, so he was a hard ass, but I learned a lot from him. He was an asshole, but you know what? You learn from those assholes.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna,
it takes one to know one, and yes, I am an asshole. So, yeah, I understand the great teachings that assholes can provide to us.
yeah, that is true. They do provide a lot, regardless of whatever their
Well,
attitude
a
is.
more a
They
more
still provide a lot.
appropriate term is eccentric.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the more
So
kind
they,
word. Yeah, he's not an asshole. He's just
yeah,
eccentric.
yeah, and so they do provide a lot of insight. You know what I mean? What to do and what not to do. You know what I mean? Good and bad. So, but he did teach me a lot besides Coke stuff. He did teach me a lot and things like that. So, but yeah, but he was a good guy, and I don't know what happened to him. I haven't talked to him in years, but I wonder how he's doing, and let's see, the best for him and things like that. So
So,
he was a good guy.
okay, so the future for Gabe is potentially a food truck. Now, what would you serve? How, like, do you have a name decided? What menu you might have decided? Tell us.
Ma'am, so my menu, I don't have a name for it, but the name you gave me does ring a bell. I like that. I forgot what it was. I'm human, but
I forgot what
but
it was too. Well, I've been smoking, but
yeah. So
points to anyone who could
I
tell
don't
us in the
know.
chat.
I want to do all types of food, but I really want to do like stuff I like to do. You know what I mean? I like to do burgers and sliders, things like
Okay,
that.
so like
Like
more like
people,
American fare, like because that's what I'm wondering.
yeah,
Because some
American
people
fare.
offer like a fusion, for example, Thai and American or something, and some of those are hit and some of those are miss. So what I'm
Yeah,
wondering is what's your strategy? What specifically are you
I want
looking?
to do what I want to do is barbecue. So I want to do like American barbecue. Like I want to do is like pulled pork sandwiches. You know what I mean? But with the barbecue sauce, like a horseradish mayo, things like that. You know what I mean? Or to do it on the twist, but not a traditional, but with a twist. You know what I
What
mean? Like a
twist? A
hollandaise
Latino
sauce.
twist or like what?
Both. Like I want to infuse it with a Latino twist and an American Mexican twist. You know what I mean? But barbecue, but do Mexican American style. You know what I mean?
How?
And do
Okay,
like
no,
have
no, walk me
Southwest.
through this. Walk me through this.
Yeah.
What is an American American Mexican twist on barbecue?
So like when you
Explain it.
do
Walk it
okay,
out.
so like you'll have tortas, right? But you'll do Mexican, so it'll be barbecue, right? But it'll be with a chipotle sauce. So it'll be like a barbecue chipotle infused sauce, with it. So I'm just thinking like out of
On
the
pulled
box right
pork.
now. Yeah, on pulled pork.
Okay.
And then a nice Mexican rub for it, right? And then do like a barbecue sauce but Mexican style. You know what I mean? But use Mexican influences in it. So do like a Latin twist with it and things like that.
And what? Excuse me, smoking
You
from
okay?
the pipe.
Cool.
What sides or other appetizers would you offer apart from
What
the
I want
pulled
to
pork?
do, the pulled pork. I want to do like a Southwest potato salad. I love potato salad. Not a lot of people like it, but I like potato salad. So I would do, and it's a Texas thing, but I would do like a potato salad on the side, and things like that, and then offer buñuelos. I don't know if you heard of buñuelos are, but do some buñuelos on the side. You know what I mean? Some beans and just things like that. But do Mexican beans like borracho beans and things like that, and then some Mexican rice. Just influences like that. So still your barbecue, but your Mexican sides.
So, would you say this is Tex-Mex, or would you say this is
It would
more
be yeah. It would
Mexican
be a Tex-Mex.
influenced?
It would be a Tex-Mex. I want to do a Tex-Mex, but I want to actually go to Mexico to actually like not live there, but just to travel to Mexico to actually like go visit, like those places, like the really exotic places there. And then I want to like see what they cook and then kind of bring it back over here. You know what I mean? And see like how it is over here. They still have a lot of those restaurants, but I want to do it in a food truck. and just bring those Mexican. I want to go to like to Chiapas, like deep Mexico. You know what
Watch
I mean?
out!
Like Jalisco.
Watch out for Chiapas, man. You got
Yeah.
the fucking
So
cartels there.
yeah, I know, I know. My wife always tells me we're not going to Mexico anytime soon. So don't even. That's not even on your bucket list right now.
But you can find skilled Mexicans to teach you their ways. I don't think you have to go into
Definitely.
a war zone.
Yeah, definitely. Or I can just bring him back from the border, you know. So
So,
you never know.
but it's only. Excuse me. God damn
It's all
it.
right.
Weed's good. Suck it, Tony. Okay, so your ancestry is specifically Mexican, is it not?
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
Mexican American. I'm actually Mayan, and
Oh yeah,
I originate from Mayan
Irish
and
Mayan.
American too. Yeah. So mine's Mexican. It's Mexican from Mayan culture, and then American. So I'm Mayan American.
So, because that was going to be a question, is that excuse me, apologies.
She is.
Your influences for your food, you're going specifically for sort of Mexican, but obviously because of your Mayan descent, you want to share that food. Are there any other um, sort of Latin American foods that you are willing to try to put out or that you want to put out?
Well, I was thinking about like delving into Argentinian food. Is that something that's really good and popular?
It's fucking amazing, dude. Chimichurri
Oh,
on flank
chimichurri, yes.
steak.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I make that all the time.
oh my god, it's
How do you do your
orgasmic.
chimichurri? Or do you really do a lot of chimichurri, or have
Actually, I
you ever
don't.
delved into that?
I personally don't because I don't find myself skilled enough to do it. But when I've gone to Argentinian restaurants and stuff, and they provide it, it's it's spectacular.
Do you like Indian food?
I absolutely love it.
Oh my god, I love Indian food. Indian food's the
And
best.
and
I
you know what?
love Indian
I
food.
love the fact that what's hilarious is that okay, so the further south you go in India, the darker the people get. It's just a simple fact. But
Uh huh.
with every sort of change in I guess pigmentation of people, there's a different fucking diet. And there's places in India that actually, have cow on their menu and stuff. And, most Hindus do not eat cow. But there's places in India that actually have cow. Their dishes are so varied just from geography alone. And I absolutely adore anything Indian. Yeah, some of the stuff's way too spicy for me, but the use of vegetables, like lentils, for example, is so varied and so adaptable that you can eat it almost any different way. And then there's rice, which is just like so abundant. Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the rice is amazing, dude. And tikka masala is awesome, dude. I like all that stuff. I like the spices, the curry, dude. I'm telling you, it is awesome. So whoever it is out there that's Indian, man, y'all are awesome. Like as far as your cuisine goes, like in the
Now,
chat, you know.
the amount of, I do have to interject. The use of yogurt in certain foods, I believe that's the tikka that is in different meals and stuff, is that sometimes it's a little too much for me. It's I don't know. I'm very limited when it comes to my dairy intake, and there's certain
Yeah.
things like cheese, uh, sour cream, those sorts of things. I do enjoy. Can eat a lot of it, but like drinking milk, not my thing. And yogurt flavored, I can eat, but I don't know. I mean, like some foods just have too much yogurt dairy in Indian foods that it doesn't make it appealing for me. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Definitely. Yeah, it's like when you add a little more yogurt, sometimes it's harder to take it out. You know what I mean? Than put it in. So, it is. It's very on your palate. Some people like yogurt, some people don't. So yeah, definitely, I know what you're talking about.
But in response, like with you asked me if I liked Indian food, is there like what specifically were you thinking about to ask me, or like was there some a
So I
point
was
that
gonna
you wanted
ask you, do you
to?
like have you had butter chicken?
Yes,
Oh my god, it's so good. So I
it's not
just
bad. It's not bad. I
yeah,
mean, the
yeah,
flavors are very good, and I love butter. That's another dairy thing that I like. But
yeah.
yeah, like I don't know. I've never. It's always a hit and a miss for me, at least with butter chicken. Sometimes it just
Yeah,
doesn't come
definitely.
out that good, and
Yeah.
sometimes I've seen it come out raw, which is not fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's.
How about how about steaks? Are you a big steak guy? You are, right?
I think I just came. The fact is, I was born in Argentina, and it seems to be that it was genetically ingrained into my body to absolutely love cows, period, of any
Oh
sort of
yeah.
cut. And steaks make my life complete. I love steak.
Wow.
I
So if it's overcooked or undercooked, are you like more of a medium rare type of guy,
it
or
must.
you
Oh,
like
actually, I'll be very specific here. I am an in between from medium rare and rare. So it's not too pink, but it's not too red. It's the perfect consistency in between. So normally you'd say, okay, medium rare. But I would say, for me, if I was to adjust that, okay, medium rare, a little less. It's
yeah,
not that pink. It's a little bit more red, but there's a lot of hemoglobin. I love that juice that emanates from a steak. And it's not blood, obviously, it's hemoglobin. But it tastes so fucking good. And I love a juicy, juicy steak. And that is my definition of how to make a steak proper.
definitely. Yeah. I know some people like medium well, like it's like or well done. I'm like, oh, dude, you're paying like $55 to $60 for
Yeah,
or
apparently Trump
more
also
for a
likes
steak.
to like his steak well done.
Yeah, well, I
So,
mean, he eats a lot of McDonald's, so what do you expect?
well, I
So,
mean, like, I'm a supporter of Trump in certain aspects and a dissenter in many
me too.
more.
Me too.
But
Yeah, I hate
yeah,
Biden, man.
like
Biden's a douche.
well, I don't know if I like his bombastic nature. That's what I like. I like assholes. That's what I was agreeing with you because I'd rather deal with an asshole chef who at least will be able to teach me how to do things right, rather than some fucking limp-wristed fuck who's just gonna fucking just cater to my emotions. So yeah,
That's true.
I'm not a fan of well done steaks at all. I think it's an aberration. But I do find it comical that the media first shat on Trump about having a well done steak and then came out and said, no, a well done steak is actually a good thing. So, I'm not going to take
Mm.
either opinions for it. A steak needs to be, like I said, between rare and medium rare. Just on that point where
Yeah,
you've got enough hemoglobin to provide that juice that is
yeah,
just so
definitely.
delicious.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's all I'm talking
And
about.
tell me about this because the best cut of beef that I've ever tried. Now, my first preferred, I guess, cut is strip loin steak. But
Oh
this is just
yeah,
this is just okay. What they also call New York steak, which I find fucking ridiculous. But
New York strip.
yeah, but okay, that's just. I'm sorry, that's pedestrian. I'm sorry, that's just regular people. The best cut of beef that I've ever fucking tried, and that I was able to cook properly to its proper specifications was Brazilian picanha. Have you ever tried that before?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
Dude, I'm at the verge of orgasm here. This is the best cut that I ever tried. And I've tried
God, it sounds
so many
good.
different and what's odd is that it's actually from the rump. But it
Yeah.
was so tender. Oh my God. There's no words that I can explain to this. If you check my Instagram out, I believe I posted those images on there. Devious Dave Rose
Okay.
on Instagram. Check it out. And I made this because somebody gave me a gift of picanha. And, I marinated them properly. And then I made them actually on a charcoal barbecue.
Oh, nice.
I swear to you, I have never had a better cut of beef in my life than that. And
Wow.
and being able to have made it myself blew my fucking mind because scientifically, and I'm very big on the science. It's actually a psychological condition where you actually view your food that you make not as good as the food that somebody makes for you. It's a psychological condition. It's just exists in
I've heard
everyone.
of that.
But oh my God, I blew my fucking socks off when I made this stuff. It was so goddamn good. It was so goddamn good. And there's these Brazilian restaurants where they've, it's unlimited, buffet, meats and stuff. And they'll bring you all these different cuts, including picanha, which I would definitely recommend that you try out. But it's the best cut I've ever tried, dude. It blew my fucking mind.
Have you ever had Wagyu beef?
That I've never tried before. Mars Mirror, for example.
That's my favorite cut.
I don't know if you ever heard Mars Mirror, but he's big into beef. He's a big beef guy.
Oh, yeah. Mars is awesome. I like Mars. He's cool.
But he was explaining to me, because I asked him, with Wagyu beef, I've never tried to explain it to me. Like, I want to, at least learn about it. So I know that it's a very good cut, that it's got a lot of great marbling, but I've never, I've never been able to actually, purchase anything.
Yeah, so Wagyu beef is awesome. Like, when I worked at a steakhouse back in the day, we would do that. Oh my God, man! I would definitely. It's a toss up because I like.
How big was a steak?
Wagyu. It was 15. It was a 14-ounce steak.
Okay, wow.
And yeah, it was 14
How much
ounces.
did that cost?
I would eat it free.
No, but I mean, how would it cost for the pedestrians, the people?
Oh, pedestrians, you're looking about 150, 160.
Holy shit, for a 14-ounce.
Yeah, that's just for a steak. You're not even talking about sides. You're talking about a 14-ounce steak. It's like $150. Seriously. Like at a high-end, like a 4-diamond place. That's what you're looking at. Ooh. Depending on the grade of it and if it's choice, So you want a choice. And so once you get a choice, it's better like that. So, that's how much you're looking at. Like, the bill's going to be $150 plus to top the sides. If you're going to get sides or wine or whatever, you're going to get.
So you worked at a real steakhouse where literally your bill could come out to probably close to $1,000.
Yeah,
if you were having a fun time.
I did. Yep, I used to work at a place called Old San Francisco Steakhouse back in San Antonio. And man, I'm talking about I'm telling you, that place was haunted. But man, the steaks were awesome, dude. They were awesome. We'd have cowboy ribeyes, which are the big ones, and then we had tomahawk steaks, which is my second favorite cut. Is a tomahawk.
Never
steak.
Tried that though. I've never tried a tomahawk.
Oh my God, man! Like, I'm sure Mars will like that.
Yeah, but they're really
like that.
They're really pricey.
Yeah, they're really pricey. Yeah, they're real pricey. So that's probably going to be the second. Probably the second most expensive would probably be a tomahawk.
But go right? Go back to the whole fact that you said this place was haunted.
Oh yeah, so I worked at a steakhouse. I worked at a steakhouse where it was an old San Francisco steakhouse in San Antonio, and that place was haunted. Well, what happened back in the 1900s. That thing has been open around forever in San Antonio, and so whoever's in the chat and that lives in San Antonio probably knows about that steakhouse, right? The old San Francisco Steakhouse. So apparently there was a swing girl because they used to have swings, and then a swing girl would actually swing, and she was in a cowboy hat, and so it was kind of like a saloon. It was basically a saloon. It was like a bar saloon that got built into a restaurant. It was like first it was a bar saloon, and then they cut the bar off, and then it was kind of just it became a restaurant. So they would have a swing girl who was swinging. Well, she was swinging all the way up, and apparently, like she flipped over and she fell.
Oh
And
shit.
apparently, she haunts that place. Yeah, and it's a historic, old historic San Antonio. Ghost magazines like those ghost stories in San Antonio, haunted places. It's actually the steakhouse is in that and actually says the story about what happened. And so a lot of people visit that place because of that. So back in it was like I went in to do a catering because they had catering too as well, and so new owners took it over and they renovated it out, and so it was still a restaurant, but it became a catering thing too. So they did catering in there too, and anyway, so um, I went there. I came there about. I got there in the morning about 4 in the morning, right? And so I had to do catering. I got up about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I shit you not. I heard like all this type of like banging and everything else, and nobody was in there, and I heard dishes rattling and falling. And I was like, "What the hell?" And when I just opened the door, because I had the keys to it, I'm the chef. I had the keys to it, so I opened it and I just heard, and it was no rats, obviously. So you just heard banging, like just banging, and I was the only person in there, man. And I got the hell out, man. I went
Wow.
outside in the parking lot smoking a cigarette. I was like, "What the shit?" And I told my boss, and my boss was like, "Oh my god," and blah blah blah. But yeah, they were probably it's probably the swing girl. She usually, is in the kitchen and stuff like that at nighttime because that was her favorite spot to hang out to get free food or whatever, like from the cooks. So yeah, so that's yeah, so yeah, it's actually historic. It's actually proven.
That's crazy. Actually, reminds
Yeah,
me of
dude.
a story where basically when there was a bar that I used to frequent, the one that I keep talking about with the Tamil cooks and stuff. Um, they basically it was a very old location, and there was this one girl that I knew that apparently was going to the washroom and the toilet sorry the what's it called the toilet paper roll started to
Uh huh.
roll and unravel, and like there'd been like it had been known that there was hauntings at this place, and this girl apparently experienced this, so she rushed out of the stall and started to tell us all about it and so forth. So yeah, some of these old buildings really have some sort of connection to previous incidences. Now I'm going to quickly put on the stream now a
Okay.
image of the picanha, uncooked but skewered and ready to be barbecued.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, look at that meat. Look at that meat. It's just so beautiful, so red. You know it's good. And now I'm going to show you. I'm going to just transition here to the final
Oh wow, it
product.
does look good.
I did both skewers of the meat as well as skewers of some vegetables as well. And it just, again, it came out spectacular. I was blown away because I've never been formally trained in this shit, right? I've had to try to learn it my own, trial and error, as well as, once YouTube came about, start to try to watch videos and try to learn. And the problem is, though, with the stupid electric stove, you're throwing dice. You're throwing fucking dice. There's no chance that you can fucking consistently get the same thing from what somebody's saying. So it's such a challenge, and I wish I had a gas stove, but that is not going to happen. So I got to fucking deal with what I got, and if it comes out spectacular, then absolutely I'm going to toot my own fucking horn and say I'm fucking happy that I was able to accomplish this considering my limitations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we live in like a me and Vana, we live like in an apartment, but it's like kind of like a condo because we have a garage and then we have a backyard, right? But so in the apartment, but we don't have a gas stove. Everything else is badass in here, but we don't have a gas stove. And I'm just like shit. But we have one of those. What are they called? Those induction stoves?
Convection stoves?
Yes, those. Yeah, and it sucks. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, those suck. But I mean, we try to make the best of it.
Yeah. And, I at least I was able to make this on a barbecue and such. And, it came out really well. But, you can't,
Yeah.
especially in Canada, where we've got 14 months of winter every year. So, it's just a challenge to be able to properly cook this stuff. And this stuff deserves to be made on a barbecue, not with that, especially with the smoky charcoal taste, not on gas, okay, and certainly not on a stovetop or something. This has to be made on a proper barbecue.
Definitely. Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, check that shit out. That's picanha, which is
Okay.
the rump end of the cow,
Okay.
and
Sounds good.
certainly worth trying out because it's just so tender, so good.
That's cool. Well, Dave, I'm gonna cut it off a little bit. I'm gonna try to get some rest,
No worries, man.
and
I don't want to keep
but
you.
thank you, dude.
No, I
Thank you, man.
appreciate it
Thank you
so much,
for
man. And we
everything,
finally were
bro.
able to nail it down. We were finally able to get at least a little bit of an intro into who Gabe Rodriguez is and his experience when it comes to cooking and stuff. And again, I admire you for what you've been able to accomplish, and always look forward to speaking to you when it comes to cooking because I just love to learn. And I, just like you said, like I don't give a fuck about the asshole in the kitchen. I'm here to learn. So treat me like shit, somewhat of a sadist, and you know what? I'll take my beatings, but I want to fucking learn.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's about, man. At the end of the day, it's about learning and creating and things like that.
That's
Not about
right.
doing the paperwork. Well, I mean, you have to, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. So
Absolutely, man.
that
But I
comes with the
really
territory.
appreciate that you spent all this time with us here today. And again, I didn't expect us to even do too many chefs today, but I'm glad that
Yeah, me
people.
neither, bro. I was just like, I'm gonna call him, man. I was like, I need to do
I'm
this.
glad that
I
it
need to make
worked
this my
out.
mission.
I'm very glad that we were able to finally connect to be able to do this show. And didn't expect it, but hey, it worked out all for the best.
Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. But like I said, much props to you, man, and everybody. Like I said, I like listening to all your streams. And props to Ken and all of them out there, Mars and Nikki Nines, man. Y'all really make my week and everything else. Like all of y'all, you know what I mean? Like I stream to all of y'all, so like I know like all the community stuff. Like I listen to all the time.
Well,
So
I
yeah,
appreciate it, man.
uh,
I really do.
I'm kind of a nut like that.
Hey, man, if I can
So
make your day
anyway,
go better, then it's all worth it.
awesome, bro. Okay, well you have a good one, man. You take care. Okay,
Same to
I'm
you,
gonna
man.
rest and
Hopefully,
take a nap.
yeah. Well, first of all, Merry Christmas to you
You too, brother.
and your girl, and hopefully Christmas won't be too heavy on you when it comes to all the food, all the great food that you're going to be serving.
Yeah, yeah, and then maybe we can connect next year. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll go from there.
Sounds good, man.
Okay, bro. All
All
right, you
right,
take it easy. Okay, you be careful.
you too, man.
Okay, bro.
Don't
Talk to you
burn
later. Bye.
yourself.
Okay, I will. I got like 7 burns already. No, that's what I do.
Hey,
So,
chicks
okay.
dig scars, right?
Yeah, I
Chicks
know.
dig
I got one on
scars.
my face, and I got like 4 or 5 or 6 of them already. And
Oof.
my girl loves it.
Another war wound.
Yeah, another battle scar, brother.
That's right.
Okay, man. You have a
All right,
good one.
man. There goes Gabe
Okay, talk to you later.
Rodriguez, an
Bye.
actual certified chef. Very much appreciate his call today. Definitely didn't expect that we were going to do this. But yeah, that was great. That was absolutely awesome to be able to talk to him, get more knowledge about his experience. And yeah, look forward to any future episodes that him and I might do together. So on that note, I'm going to call this episode to an end. I'm still kind of feeling the Kerbals thing, so I might just do some Kerbals. But on this note, too many chefs, we're going to call it quits. So, thank you for joining us, every single one, and we shall see you next time.